How's it going, guys? This is Jason, and welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena. In this episode, we're going to be doing another standard event, and this time we're going to be using an Azorius control deck. This one made by Ray Future Pro in a recent competition. We're going to be giving this one a try, and I'm definitely excited about this one because, sort of like the last episode with Blue-Red, I think Blue-White is another combination that really suits my playstyle. Where Blue-Red is more a combination of control and aggression with the direct damage. Blue-White is more classical control with just life gain and also counter spells and all that kind of stuff. So let's see how we do. Some of the staples of this deck, we've got Teferi Time Raveler and counter spells like Absorb, as well as Gadwick, as you can see here, for some card draw in the late game. This hand is not going to work. We need some blue mana, so let's just mulligan that right off the bat. This is better. We got Planar Cleansing. We only have counters in the early game, which is unfortunate. We need something more substantial, but I think we need to deal with this, because I don't want to go down to 5. We do have Castle Ardenvale to make us 1/1s, but again, that's a late game thing. We're going to hold on to this and just get rid of a land. Let's get rid of a Plains. Hopefully we'll draw something like a Teferi or something more substantial. Hello. Put out Hallowed Fountain. Yeah, I never really liked mulliganing, but sometimes you just sort of have to. Like, when you have no blue mana and all the spells in your hand that require blue, there's not much choice there in my mind. So Temple of Epiphany, I wonder if this is like a Fires of Jeskai deck. Let's put out Essence Capture possibility with 2 blue mana. Next turn we'll have 3 mana and enough for an Absorb. And I think we're going to wait. We're going to put out Castle Ardenvale for sure, but we might wait to see what kind of deck we think he has before we play Absorb. Yeah, this is like it might be a Jeskai Fires deck. So in that case, I mean, there's not much we can do anyway, but we definitely want to look out for the Fires of Invention as a candidate for countering with Absorb. There's Teferi. Okay, so actually, we need to accelerate our plan to counter this, because if we don't counter Teferi, we're not going to be able to do any countering because of Teferi's ability. So let's just counter it. I think he probably suspected we had a counter, which is why he put out Teferi first. Let's do Castle Vantress. We already have a Castle Ardenvale, so now we have 2 options for our 4 remaining mana, assuming he doesn't play anything that's counter-worthy with Essence Capture. We'll put a break on his end step. At this point, I think we're more interested in scrying than we are in creating 1/1s, just because we'd like to find another counter for his Fires of Invention if he does play that. Planar Cleansing is definitely something good to see in case he starts developing significant board advantage. There's Fires of Invention, yeah. Nothing we can do about it right now. If he plays a creature, though, we can counter that. There's Cavalier of Gales. Let's counter that. Yeah, because if he had played Cavalier of Gales, he would have gotten some card advantage. Ooh, Teferi, I like that. We can bounce his Fires of Invention and make him play it again. I like that idea. I'm trying to think. If he has like a Cavalier of Flames can give itself haste, but that means he needs 1 more mana to play next turn, so that's sort of a gamble. Yeah, I know it's my go. Thanks. Let's do Teferi. I think we are going to bounce his Fires. We'll draw a card, hoping for a counter, and we'll also hope that he does not have a Cavalier of Gales and also doesn't play an extra land. Is he playing an extra land? Oh, he's got his own Teferi. Okay, that's fine.
You show remorse.
He can't bounce anything of mine just yet. I don't even have anything to play right now, so.
I've got it.
Oh, interesting. He just went for the card draw. All right. So he did find another land. All right, we have an Absorb now. Fantastic. But it's not going to do us any good until we destroy his Teferi. So I'm considering using Planar Cleansing right now. Trouble is, if I do that, then I'm tapped out, and I can't actually counter the next things he do. I think I'm going to create a 1/1 with Castle Ardenvale. Teferi's going to do this ability regardless, because that's all he can do.
I'll protect you.
Absorb is useless until I can kill his Teferi, so I don't need to worry about that. Let's play Fabled Passage. Let's get that right away. We're going to go for a island, I guess? I don't know. Sure. And really the only question right now is, do I want to do Planar Cleansing, or do I want to do one of my lands abilities? I think I can wait until... I can wait until his next turn, my next turn, to do Planar Cleansing, because I can wait until he puts more stuff on the field and make him lose that stuff. And he won't be able to counter me as long as I have my Teferi, so we're going to use my lands abilities on his end step. That's the current plan. Only trouble is if he gets like a haste creature out, like Cavalier of Flame, and then destroys my Teferi, and then also has a counter. But no, even he can't even counter. He has Fires of Invention. He can only play spells on his turn. So I don't need to worry about him countering my Planar Cleansing at all. There's Cavalier Flame. Presumably he's going to kill Teferi. But this is good. I actually want him to put out as many threats as possible on this turn, so that they'll all get destroyed with Planar Cleansing. I'll probably scry with Castle Vantress. What does this say? Oh, good. So he's not going to get to use this ability at all if I do Planar Cleansing. That's fine with me. Now he's going to buff these guys for big damage. With the amount of damage he's going to do, he might actually go right for my life total, which would be unfortunate. I hope he diverts at least some of it to Teferi, because he's going to die anyway when I do Planar Cleansing. How much damage is that? My god. 16. Yeah, it's debatable whether one of them is going to go... Oh, wow. Yeah, he's going right for my life total. Yeah, that's not great, but at least we're not in danger of dying next turn because of Planar Cleansing. Let's see what we can draw. I like Absorbs. How much mana do I have next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't have enough for an Absorb and a Planar Cleansing, so I'm going to be open for a turn for him to play other stuff. I think that's just a risk we're going to have to run at this point. Alternatively, I could take Hallowed Fountain, and then I could... No, that doesn't make sense. I was going to say I could do Hallowed Fountain and then Time Wipe his creatures and then have enough mana for an Absorb, but the Absorb is still useless until we get rid of his Teferi, so we need to get rid of all his permanents first. Yeah. Oh, crap, I meant to put... Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we'll play a land. We'll do this.
Here we go.
And Planar Cleansing. Oh, I forgot about that. Did he have a land in his graveyard? I guess he did. Okay, so now we have a chance. Depending on what he has in his hand, hopefully it's nothing too substantial. But we do have a chance now to recover. Kenrith, that's not what I wanted to see. We might have to Time Wipe him. Oh my god, does he have like a shock or something? Or am I going to survive this? The fact that we have Absorbs is great, because it means that we can gain life when he casts more spells. Oh my god, I think we're going to survive. We have to Time Wipe, there's no choice. Because otherwise Kenrith is going to kill us. So let's do that. And then we've got enough mana left over for one Absorb, which could gain us some life back. It's all about whether he has 2 spells or just 1 spell for his turn. Probably 2. Oh, he had a land. Excellent. It'd be great if he played like a Fires. Okay, no. So, since Absorbs are not guaranteed to be played and give us life, we're going to put a break on his end step, and then if he doesn't do anything, we're just going to create creatures and or scry with our castles. Do I care about this? Put one into your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library. I'm fine with letting this through because we're just going to counter whatever else he takes with this. So that's fine. That's being countered for sure. Goodbye. Give me that life back. And we've got enough for another counter. Okay, what are we going to do with our land, though? We can either make a creature or we can scry. I think scrying is probably more important right now, because we need to have answers for everything he can do. Let's see what we got on deck. We don't need more lands. That is not going to work. So glad we scryed, because we don't want lands for the next 2 turns. Cadwick, beautiful. Now, do I want to reserve enough mana for Absorb if I need it? I think I probably do, just to be safe. Even though Gadwick can draw me a ton of cards right now, I can't leave myself open with only 4 health. So I think we need to only use 2 for Gadwick's X cost. Yeah, unfortunately. I think we need to protect ourselves here when we're at this low life. And we can work with this, a Brazen Borrower. That sounds good to me. And now we've got a creature that can start attacking. So we can actually... Wow, he conceded. I can't believe we pulled that out. Good game. Yeah, it's always a little what's the word? Unnerving when you're down to 1 health and you're just trying to survive, and somehow you pull it out. I don't know. We're off to a good start. Yeah, I think maybe he saw me play the Gadwick while keeping 3 mana untapped, and I think that might have been the signal to him that I had a counter, and maybe realizing that was enough to make him concede. What is this? We have all the colors we need. We have 3 lands, but for the early game, all we have is Opt. I mean, Time Wipes are great for clearing the field, and we have Gadwick for our late game card draw, but just an Opt? I think we're going to keep this, just hoping that Opt finds us something more substantial to play in the early game. Obviously, we can only play it on turn 2, because we have this tap land here. What is this? You may cast spells as though they had flash? Oh my god. That's not good. Who puts a leyline in their deck? I've like never seen that. I've seen like the red one happen sometimes, and that's used to pretty good effect. Another Gadwick, that's not what we need. We're probably going to... I mean, we might as well Plains. There's no reason not to. Actually, there is a reason. Let's do Opt first in case we draw a tap land. Do we want that tap land, though? I think we want something else. We're looking for more substantial spells for now. We already have land. Another Gadwick is not what I wanted. That's too many Gadwicks, and I don't even have 3 islands. We need to find something other than Gadwicks and Time Wipes, please. Let's put this out tapped. Luckily, our opponent is being extremely slow. Although, since they can play things with Flash, yeah, he's going to do something during my end step. Oh, that doesn't even need Flash. What is this deck? Interesting. A Bant deck with a Leyline of Anticipation? What's your game? What's your game, my friend? Wilderness Reclamation in a Bant deck. I've only seen that in Timber before. Okay, well, I might bounce that. We're going to do Teferi. Teferi will probably be countered. I need to make peace with that, but that's not going to stop me from playing him. Because if he does have counters, we need to start drawing those out. Let's see what he does. And the good thing about Teferi, I might not even bounce. I might just keep him around to prevent him from doing things with Flash. But if he does have a counter, I assume he's going to use it here. Interesting. Alright, he played Gadwick. Well, I'm going to need to bounce Gadwick, because otherwise Teferi's going to die. Oh no, I could just make Teferi bigger. But I think I want to bounce him just for the card draw. And I don't need to worry about getting killed next turn, because Teferi can make himself bigger.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Another land, alright. Well, that means next turn we can do Time Wipe, so hopefully he plays several creatures. And we have the extra blue we needed to play Gadwicks, so... We're looking good at this point. The fact that we got Teferi out in a deck that seems to like having Flash and Wilderness Reclamations, we essentially nullified both those cards. So that's great news. I think keeping Teferi alive is going to be the goal here. And in fact, what I might do is I might use Teferi's ability to Time Wipe on his turn, and he won't be able to do anything in response. Let's just make it bigger. Yeah, that's the plan right now. Alternatively, we could just chump block his Gadwick with a 1/1 we create, and just stall a bit longer until he puts more creatures out. That might be a way to go. Because I do want to bait him into putting more creatures out so that Time Wipe doesn't just do a single removal. So yeah, I think if he attacks with Gadwick, we'll probably just create a creature with Ardenvale Castle. Castle Ardenvale. And chump block. Yeah, right now Teferi is the MVP against what I'm assuming this deck is, because it seems like there's a lot of things that rely on Flash. Let's see what he does. Is he going for the attack? Yep. And here comes the blocker. There's nothing he can do about it. Because he's not allowed to do things at instant speed. I don't think he realized that I had that ability. So maybe, hopefully that'll be enough to make him play a second creature. And then I can Time Wipe them both. He's scrying, okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I think his deck style might have that could remove Teferi. Because Teferi I need to keep alive as much as possible. What else you got? Brazen Borrower, alright. Well, that's fine. I can just play him again. But hopefully he doesn't have a counter for it. Okay, he's tapping out, so I'm not that concerned about him having a counter. Yeah, so Teferi's coming out again. Oh shit, he has Wilderness Reclamation. So he may very well have a counter for Teferi if he bounced it. I wish I had one more... Oh, I do have one more mana. Okay, so we're going to put out Hallowed Fountain, paying 2 life, and we'll have an Absorb in case he tries to counter Teferi. Of course, the fact that we paid 2 life may be a hint to him that we did have a counter, but nothing we can do. It's our only play. Does he have a second counter? That's the question now. I'm hoping no. Oh my god, he did. And there goes Teferi. God damn it. Well, he made the right choice in terms of what to use his counters on, because Teferi was essentially holding his entire deck back. So, I think we're going to do Gadwick next turn, hoping that he doesn't get countered. Yeah, his Wilderness Reclamation is a huge problem right now. Wilderness Reclamation plus Chemist's Insight. Yeah. He's getting a lot of free draw power from that. He's probably going to use it again, honestly. Maybe discard a land. Another Wilderness Reclamation, my god. Wow, he played that during his end step. That's fancy, because he has the Ley Line of Anticipation. Alright, well now we've got another Absorb, but we can't do these spells and Absorb. So, I guess we just gotta go with Gadwick. I just hope he doesn't counter it. I've never seen a Bant Flash deck. This is very, very interesting. Is he going to let this through? He doesn't look like he's looking at his hand. So does that mean he doesn't have a counter? What's going on? Alright, he let it through, so I get the cards. If he plays Brazen Borrower... Oh, he's doing Time Wipe. Alright, well, I still draw the cards, though. That's what I was going to do next turn. Okay, well, I'm happy at least I got some lands. Let's put out Castle Vantress. We've got one counter, and we've got an Aether Gust. This applies to red or green. So we can use this on a green permanent, like potentially Wilderness Reclamation. And he's not using those for anything? Oh, he's probably going to... Wow, Ley Line of Anticipation plus Reclamation plus Gadwick. He has the potential to draw a ton of cards here, if that's what he's putting his mana into. That's way too many cards. That's like enough cards to make him discard this turn. Oh, is he just topping off his deck? Or his hand, rather? Look at all this card draw. What? How many isn't... Okay, he's not even close to drawing himself out. So, no hope there. God, look at all this card draw. What is his endgame, I wonder? Does he have like a Jace? Or is his plan just to overwhelm me with Brazen Borrowers and Gadwicks? Or what's the goal here? I haven't seen any of the other Flash creatures I usually see with Simic. Like Night Pack or Brandborn Cutthroat or any of those. I see Brazen Borrower, but he hasn't used it yet. Okay. Let's do an island. I feel like Gadwick's probably going to be countered if we play him. So maybe we should just, maybe only put 2 into Gadwick and just get him out there as a creature, and then have Absorb available in case he tries to counter him. Problem is, he's got way more cards than me, so I feel like in a counter battle, he's going to have more counters than I do. He may very well have 2 counters again, like what happened with Teferi. In fact, you know what? I might want to hold on to this counter until I find another Teferi, and then save it for when I try and play Teferi. That may be the way to go. Question is, do I think I'm going to find another Teferi soon? I think I better hold off on countering this. This Gadwick is not crucial, honestly. I've only got... I have limited counters, and he's got a lot of them, so I need to make him waste his counters while I wait to find Teferi. So maybe I'll play another Gadwick next turn, and hopefully have him counter that as well. I can survive several turns taking his 3 damage from his Gadwick, so... yeah, I think Teferi is the best hope here. Because he needs a combination of 2 cards to remove my Teferi. He needs a Brazen Borrower for its instant ability, and then he also needs a counter, and he needs enough mana to do both. So I could Time Wipe while I'm stalling as well. That might draw out some of his counters. I'm surprised he hasn't played his Brazen Borrower yet to be an extra attacker. That may be coming. What is he going to do with all this mana? What is your plan here? Oh, what the... March of the Multitudes? Well, I think that just answered what I'm using my counter for. Yeah, I can't let that happen. It's 13 of them? That's enough to kill me if I let that go through. I have to counter that. Yeah. I guess we just need to do another Gadwick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's just go for it, you know? Let's go for 6 and try and draw as many cards as possible in hopes of finding Teferi. And more likely, we'll just draw out another one of his counters. Oh my god, he let it go through. He might be out of counters. I think he would have countered that if he had a counter. He could have another Time Wipe, but that's fine as long as I draw the cards. Chemister's Insight. I'm surprised he didn't do Chemister's Insight in response to me playing it, so he could find a counter while it was still in the stack. Give me those cards. Oh, you know what would have been funny? If he played a Narset in response to my Gadwick, just to prevent me from drawing any cards from him. That would have been sad. We got a Teferi! Yes! Do we have a counter? We don't have any counters. That's really sad. And now he's got a Teferi. Oh, no. Well, so our counters are basically useless now until we can get our own Teferi. We need to kill his Teferi for sure. We might bounce his Teferi with Brazen Borrower. Let's discard, I don't know, tap land and, I don't know. We have to discard 3. Let's just get rid of our lands. Yeah, so we need to get rid of his Teferi. More importantly than getting rid of his Teferi is getting our Teferi on the field. That's the most important thing. That's really the end goal here, but we need to do several things before then to ensure the success of that by baiting as many counters as we can. Whatever we do, Teferi's going to be played last, so he has the highest chance of success of getting on the field.
Don't worry.
Alright, so we bounced Gadwick, that's to be expected. Another Wilderness Reclamation, my god. Yeah. Getting our Teferi out would just neutralize every single one of those enchantments he has out right now. Chemister's Insight, alright. Is he going to use this mana? Oh, you know what? He's got those castles now. He can actually start making 1/1s and scrying every time one of those wilderness... Yeah, here it is. Every time one of those wilderness reclamations happens. That's an interesting... That's a very interesting approach to wilderness reclamation. He's basically getting like 3 creatures every end step. And scrying as well. Wow. Very interesting use of your mana acceleration there. I wonder if that's his endgame. I haven't seen any other like real bombs aside from that. Maybe it's all about just this combo. There's Brazen Borrower as a creature finally. I was wondering when that was going to happen. Oh wait, that's another one. That's one that didn't even have its bounce spell played. He's still got this one in exile. Okay, well, let's do a Time Wipe and try and bait a counter. Let's make sure we have enough mana for everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we do time wipe, we'll have 4 mana left over. That's not going to be that many opportunities to bait a counter. That's only 2. So maybe we should bounce his Teferi with Brazen Borrower. That's 2. We need 3 left over for this Teferi. So that leaves us with 4 more. So I'm thinking we're going to do... Let's do Aether Gust on one of his Wilderness Reclamations, maybe? Yeah. No. Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll do Brazen Borrower on his Teferi. If that goes through, and he doesn't counter it, then we'll play Brazen Borrower to the creature. But hopefully he counters it. We're trying to bait counters right now. Interesting, he let it go through. So that means we can now counter stuff. And, we can also play Brazen Borrower at instant speed. I wonder if that means he was... Like, did he know that we had something better to play? Let's Aether Gust one of these Wilderness Reclamations. Yeah, there's definitely a pause here. What? What is your... Oh, that's right, he can just play it anytime. Oh, because he has... Oh, God, his stuff has flash.
I can no longer stand by and watch.
Damn. Okay, well, I think we're gonna... Instead of trying for Teferi on, Instead of trying for Teferi on this turn, I think we're going to time wipe and just bait one more counter. Because I think he'll counter this if he can, to prevent all his creatures from dying. Yeah, okay, so that's one less counter that he has. Next turn, I think we'll try again for Teferi. We might try another time wipe to bait one more counter. And then, if we can get Teferi out, then the following turn, if we're still alive, we can do a third time wipe and clear the field. But actually, he's going to be doing near fatal damage this turn, so we might not even survive. We might just have to do 2 time wipes, assuming we draw another land, and just hope he doesn't have 2 counters. Yeah, looking back, I think that's what we need to do. He has so many cards in his hand, too. This is looking bad. And you know what? I think it might be over even if we do time wipe, because he can just create more 1/1s super fast with his castle. So I hate to say it, but I think this game's already over. There's nothing I can do about his Wilderness Reclamations and his... You know what would do it? If we had a Planar Cleansing. Because then we destroy the creatures and his enchantments and Teferi. A Planar Cleansing would do it, but it would have to go through, and that assumes he has no counters. Yeah. That's going to be a long shot. That is not a Planar Cleansing. Okay, so time wipe. We only have enough for 1, because we have 9 mana. So let's do Teferi. Time wipe is more important than Teferi at this point, so let's do Teferi first. If we get Teferi out, that means we don't have to worry about time wipe getting countered. Here comes the counter if he has one. Chemister's Insight, alright. Go for it. Go for it, my bro. Do you have a counter? What are you going to do? Looks like he might have a counter. He's targeting another Chemister's Insight. Maybe he doesn't have a counter. We might get Teferi on the field. If we get Teferi on the field, we can time wipe. Yes, we got it. Fantastic. We're going to time wipe. Oh, you know what we could do? No. We're not getting fancy here. Let's just time wipe and be done with it. Yeah. Time wipe without worrying about getting countered. Do I want to return any of this stuff to his hand? I could return Leyline of Anticipation to his hand. I'm not sure it's worth it. We might just want to keep Teferi big for now. No, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have any creatures to attack Teferi just yet, so we need to... No, let's just make Teferi big. I don't think it's worth potentially losing Teferi from his little 1/1s he's going to create just to draw a card and bounce one of his enchantments that he can just play again. We need to keep Teferi on the field as long as possible so that we can play our spells without getting countered.
Let's try this.
Because he's winning the counter battle as it stood. We need to get our Brazen Borrower out so we can kill their Teferi. And then we can... Oh my god, he's got another Teferi.
Let's slow this down.
Alright, cool. Hopefully he does the bounce. I think he thought he could bounce my Teferi, but he forgot that it doesn't work on Planeswalkers. So hopefully he just does the -3 to draw a card. And then I can play my Brazen Borrower and kill his Teferi when it comes around to my next attack phase. That would be ideal.
No,
Alright, he's doing that. He's drawing the card. I assume he's going to make another little 1/1 army with his Castle Arden Vales, which we can time wipe that one more time, but then after that we're sort of on our own. And we need to figure out other solutions after that. What we really need, like I said before, is a Planar Cleansing to just destroy his Wilderness Reclamations. Even then, he still has the ability to make at least 1/1/1 per turn. So, it's definitely iffy. We do have Gadwick for if we can find some breathing room to put a bunch of mana into that spell. And apparently he has a Gadwick as well. Yeah. So I assume he's going to do Gadwick and then make a bunch of little 1/1s. Oh, no, he bounced my... Oh, he had another Brazen Borrower to bounce my Teferi. That's no good. Well, we're going to have to do Teferi again and bait another counter. And, yeah. Hopefully Teferi doesn't get countered. This is looking very precarious. Oh no, what is this? Why did I not have a chance to read that? It's like my time expired. So he just created... Okay, so a time wipe is crucial here. Oh my god, we got a Planar Cleansing! We need to do Teferi first, so that it's not possible for him to counter it. So let's do this first. Hopefully he only has one counter or less in his hand. If he does, we can Planar Cleansing and totally... Oh my god, we got it through.
Sorry I'm late.
Holy shit. So actually... Here's a question. Do I want to do Time Wipe and keep my Teferi alive? Or do I want to do Planar Cleansing and destroy everything, including his enchantments? I think I want to do Planar Cleansing. This is like a once-in-a-game opportunity. He might bounce my Teferi again. I might not have this chance again, so we need to do Planar Cleansing. Let's go ahead and draw a card for free. Since he's going to die anyway, we might as well do his -3.
Here we go.
We got a land, alright. We just increased our life by 33%. And now we'll Planar Cleansing. Sounds good to me. He's still going to be able to create a 1/1 creature during my end step. And that'll be a slight issue. But we significantly even the field with that Planar Cleansing there. It'd be great if we could find another Teferi, but that's probably asking a lot since we've already gone through 2 of them. That's not good. Now he has 2 Castle Arden Vales. He can create 2 1/1s per turn. I'm at dangerously low life. And he has another Teferi? Are you serious?
Right on schedule.
Oh my god.
Trust me.
Can I have another one of those, please? We might have to do Gadwick. Yeah, I'm thinking Gadwick, because if he's going to counter Gadwick, he shouldn't have enough mana for another 1/1. And then I'll survive one more turn. And if he lets it through, I'll draw a bunch of cards. Hopefully finding another Teferi. Oh my god, his library's at 8? If I can survive, he might draw himself out. Holy shit. We need to do Gadwick, I think. Let me just think about this for a second. If we do Gadwick... Oh no, it's not going to work. How much mana does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... He can make 2 1/1s as it stands. If he counters my Gadwick, he can only make 1 1/1. He won't kill me next turn regardless. Even if he creates 2 1/1s and then bounces the Gadwick that I play, I'll still only be down to 1. So I think we need to do this just to bait a counter again. How much mana are we going for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's just go for it. Actually, no. We don't need that many cards, and we have a second Gadwick we can play in case this first one fails. So we'll do this. If he gets countered, we'll play a second Gadwick and draw 2 cards. Oh, we let it through. Interesting. Oh my god, we got a Teferi. I'm scared. Does he? If he has a counter, he'll use it on Teferi. I might want to wait until, I think I might want to wait until next turn before I play Teferi. Just because I want to be absolutely sure he does not have a counter. Let's tap, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Let's tap him. And now this guy is a threat to his Teferi, so he might have reason to bounce it or otherwise neutralize it. But, yeah. I think we'll survive this turn, even if he creates 2 1/1s. And then next turn we'll try for our Teferi and potentially time wipe and reset his progress once again. Oh my god, I just noticed we have another planar cleansing in case he starts going out of control again. Oh my god. We need to get Teferi out. We need, you know what would be great? If he played more of his good stuff like Wilderness Reclamation and stuff, and then we you know, wipe the board and then we play our Teferi. But let's see how this plays out. Alright, so he played a Brazen Borrower. Wow, that would have killed me if I hadn't played my own Brazen Borrower. Oh my god, I am dead. He's going to bounce my Brazen Borrower. And then there's nothing I can do. He's got me. If he doesn't misplay, he's got me. Damn it! And there's nothing I can do in response because his Teferi prevents me from doing it. Wow. Alright, good game. I did not anticipate... Oh, well, that's just unnecessary. You had me without doing that. Good game. Good game. Damn. What a long and drawn-out game that ended... I mean, it wasn't really close. I was close to, like, slipping by defeat. I wasn't really close to killing him. Although, actually, in a sense, I was, because he almost drew out. He was at, like, 7 cards left before he drew himself out. So, in a sense, that was a close game, even though he had, like, 30 life and I had, like, 4. Yeah. That was, that could have gone either way, I think. I think what really decided that game was who got Teferis when. That was really the deciding factor. What do we have here? 2 Absorbs, Brazen Borrower, Gadwick. I like it. We've got Brazen Borrower for early bounce. These ones for turn 3 and higher countering. Gadwick for late game. Do Tranquil Cove turn 1. As close as that game was, I gotta say, I'm not that big a fan of control versus control. They tend to be just really long and drawn out. I don't know if we're going to want to waste Brazen Borrower on bouncing Vampire of the Dire Moon. So we might do a tap land here. I think we'll wait for something more exciting to bounce with Brazen Borrower. Next turn we might just counter if he does something we don't like. What is this lag? Why is my frame plummeting? Yeah, Castle Vantress. And we'll keep the option open either for Brazen Borrower or Absorb, depending on what he does. Looks like a mono black. Interesting. Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Is that worth countering? I'm thinking no. I'm thinking we're going to let him build up his field with creatures, and then just time wipe. I think that's going to be the way to go. Because, we can survive the early turns taking a bit of damage, and that's worth it if we can destroy 3 or more creatures with our time wipe, which it's looking like we will. We'll just make him think we don't have anything to do. Now, he could be smart and realize that we might have a board wipe, in which case he'll stop playing creatures and we'll just leave his mana untapped, maybe. But we'll just have to see. I think even with just these 2 creatures, it's worth it to time wipe. Actually, you know what we could do? We could do, instead of a time wipe, we could Brazen Borrower his Bloodthirsty Aerialist and then play it as a creature. And then when we do time wipe, we can bounce Brazen Borrower back to our hand. I think that's what we're going to do. Because it looks like he is hesitant to play any more creatures. So we're going to bounce Bloodthirsty Aerialist, unless he plays another creature. Yeah. So let's do this now. Bring him back to his hand. Now he's just doing 1 damage. And we also reset all the +1/+1 counters that were on him. We'll take that 1. And then we'll play our own Brazen Borrower as an attacker. Or potentially, we could play Brazen Borrower in response to his next attack with Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Or just keep it as a blocker for Bloodthirsty Aerialist. I'm not sure. We'll see. Let's see what we draw. He could remove Brazen Borrower. It's always a possibility. Interesting. Okay. Well. We could do Gadwick now. And bounce him with Time Wipe. I think we're going to do that. We're going to draw a bunch of cards. I still want to make him put more creatures on the field before we use Time Wipe. To get as much value as we can out of it. And Gadwick is a good thing to bring back to our hand with Time Wipe as well, so we can draw more cards. We got a Teferi, fantastic. That'll prevent him from doing anything at instant speed. So this will block Vampire of the Dire Moon since we have an extra one, and we don't want him continually gaining counters. Yeah, I think we're going to block Vampire of the Dire Moon, and then we're going to play Teferi and bounce Bloodthirsty Aerialist back to his hand. Because he seems insistent on only keeping these creatures on the battlefield. Which can be smart if you suspect a board wipe, but I'm going to hold off on wasting my board wipe. We're going to do Teferi now. We're going to bounce his Bloodthirsty Aerialist.
Trust me. You'll thank
See you, nerd.
Might be a bad idea.
Okay. What do we have left to do? We have counters for if he tries to do it. You know what? We might start doing counters instead of Time Wipe. I think we're just going to counter whatever else he plays. Let's do a Castle Vantress. So that way, if he plays 2 non-creature spells, we can do 2 Dovin's Vetoes. Or if he does a creature, we can do it just an Absorb. This is looking good. And then we'll just have Teferi continually get big. This player definitely seems smart. Oh, that's getting countered for sure. No, no thank you. No. No Bolas' Citadel for you. Let's make him big again. And we could do another Gadwick. But I kind of want to keep my mana untapped for counters. How many counters do I need for him? Maybe just enough for 1. But that's kind of a waste of Gadwick. I think we're just going to play mana for now and just hold off and maybe just scry with Castle Vantress or create a 1/1 with Ardenvale. And just keep our options open for countering until we whittle his hand down a bit more. I think we're going to counter this. Yeah. And we've regained some life. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to play the counter game for a little bit. We're going to create a creature and scry, unless he plays something counter-worthy. We're going to do opt during his end step. So, this is looking good. We don't even need to play Gadwick just yet. We've got options as it stands right now. Knight of the Ebon Legion. I don't like that, but we could always just chump block him and then bounce him with Teferi. I think we're going to absorb him. We've got plenty of cards, and we've got draw power, so we can potentially find more counters. It's looking like he's hurting for cards right now, so I'm fine with that. Alright, and now during end step, let's go ahead and create a creature to start chipping away at his life total. And let's do opt for our final mana. We don't need more land. Another Gadwick. Alright, it might be starting to be time to play Gadwick, since we have a creature buffer here. Let's go ahead and make him big. Yeah, I think we're going to do Gadwick, and we'll attack with the 1/1. And let's just go... We need to draw 3 cards. I don't think we played a land this turn, so let's draw 4. I just don't want to discard anything unnecessarily. And that keeps 2 mana available for Dovin's Veto. Okay, yeah, let's do Tranquil Cove. We'll gain a life, and we've got enough for Opt or Dovin's Veto, depending on what he does, to put a break on his end step. Meteor Golem. That's going to be... we can't do anything against him because he's a creature. So we just need to let that go through, unfortunately. He's probably going to go for Teferi. Oh, he went for Gadwick. Interesting. Well, in response, I'm going to opt and tap Meteor Golem with Gadwick's ability. So I at least get something. Do we want another Time Wipe? I don't know. He does not have enough to amass an army. So I'm not that worried. We already have one in our hand, so 2 is going to be excessive. What we really need are counters for non-creatures. Or for creatures, rather, which we just got with Absorb, so that's great. What else do you have? Child of Night? Okay. Well, Planar Cleansing. We have all these board wipes, and he barely has anything he can do. I think we might do Time Wipe. Let's see if he blocks with Child of Night, or if he lets the damage through. I assume he's going to let the damage through, but just on the off chance he blocks, that'll affect whether we do Time Wipe or not. Okay, yeah, as expected. Now, do I want to... I could just chump block with creatures. Do I want to waste a Time Wipe on just these 2? I think I do, because he's at critical card lowness. That's a great way to say it. He has very few cards, is what I'm trying to say. And I have tons of cards, so I think I can afford using a Time Wipe here. Let's actually do this, so that we can do it on his turn in case he decides to play another creature.
Hero thing before.
Let's play this, and we've got cards left over for countering if we need. Excellent. So he played another creature, now Time Wipe's going to be even more effective. He's going to wish he hadn't done that in a second. Is he going to go for Teferi? Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to say no to that. And now we can make another creature. Hooray! That's unfortunate. Yeah, I feel like this game is definitely going my way. We're looking really good for advantage right now in pretty much every respect. We're just going to keep creating 1/1s. We're going to hang back with our counters in case he does anything that could potentially threaten us. But, yeah. This game's looking like it's pretty in the bag unless he turns this around somehow. Let's absorb that. It may get to a point where he just concedes because he's getting frustrated he can't get things onto the field. Which I can definitely understand playing against a control deck. Let's create more creatures. Do we have enough for Scry as well? No, we don't. We've got 2 spare Teferis. Look at this. We might do a Gadwick pretty soon. Because now we're at the point where we don't have any more counters for creatures. We only have a counter for non-creature spells. So I think we want to do Gadwick. Let's do it for... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's draw 3 cards. We get another Time Wipe. Oh, another Castle Ardenvale. Cool. So next turn we can start creating 2 1/1s per turn. Yeah, this is looking really good. We also have Teferi's bounce ability for anything we don't feel like countering right away. We can just bounce it back into his hand. I don't see how he's going to come back from this. So that's slightly annoying, because he can get the ability off before I can bounce it, but... I mean, that's a lot of mana to pay for 2 life. Yeah, it's fine, I guess. Let's go ahead and do this. Just amass our army. Another Castle Ardenvale, wow. Do I want to bounce him, or do I want to just attack? I think I want to attack and see if he wants to block. And if he doesn't block, then I'll just bounce him. Yeah, that's fine.
That's more like it.
Back into your hand. And, yeah, that's all we need to do. Oh, we gotta discard stuff. Alright. Yeah, we've got plenty of stuff we can do with our mana, with our castles, so there's no reason to really play anything, unless we have to. It's all totally reactive. Duress. No. No. I don't want you looking at my hand. There's Vampire Opportunities. He actually doesn't have enough mana to use its ability this time. So that's probably just gonna be bounced again, honestly. Alright, let's create more creatures. He's got to start seeing the way the wind is blowing. I mean, this game is looking pretty over. Yeah. There it is. Good game. So I feel like I was doing in that game what the previous person did to me in that other game where I was against the Bant deck. I was basically just sitting back with my counters and just keeping my mana available for creating 1/1s with my castles. So seems like a pretty effective strategy, honestly. Teferi definitely seems crucial to this deck. This is not going to work. What is this? 2 planar cleansings and a Gadwick? It's like all endgame stuff. We've got 1 opt that we can do on turn 2 because of Fabled Passage. Do I want to risk this just on the fact that we have an opt? I don't know. It's a tough call. Because opt can definitely help us find things earlier. But, like, what if we don't find anything? I don't want to go down to 6, though. And it is nice having this if we can survive to the late game. I think we're going to risk it, just hoping that opt finds us something good. Turn 2. Might be a mistake, but it can be really bad mulliganing too many times. You're at pretty... Oh, no. We're against a red deck? That's not great. Red deck is not the one you want to go against when you're like a turn or 2 behind. Because they're all about killing you super fast. Runaway Steamkin? No! There's no way we're going to get to turn 6 and be able to do planar cleansing. He's going to kill us way before that, unless we find something we can do. We need like Absorb that can not only counter what he's doing, but also give us life gain. Absorb would be really good. Give me that island. Dobin's Veto. Problem with that is, even if I counter something that he does, even if he does do a non-creature spell, he's still going to get like a buff out of Runaway Steamkin, so he's getting some benefit regardless. I think we want to hold on to it and opt. But I mean, we can just wait to see what happens. Our stuff's at instant speed, so... Yeah, we can't even counter his Steamkin because it's a creature. So, yeah, I mean, I would like to board wipe, but I don't think we're going to survive to turn 5 or 6. I think we're going to die way before then. Let's see what we can find with opt. A Teferi would be good. It might be able to bounce one of his things and divert damage. Another opt? No, that's not what we need. Teferi, excellent. So, I think we're going to bounce one of his Steamkins, and then potentially divert some of the damage that he's doing, and we'll draw a card. I'm afraid if I just do his +1, he might just ignore Teferi and go right for my life total, which is not what I want. I need Teferi to divert some of the damage. Yeah. He's definitely going right for my life total, so I need to bounce the bigger Steamkin.
Let's try this.
Okay, so let's see. I would need to get a time wipe. I don't even have enough mana for a time wipe. I think I need 2 blue for a time wipe, so even if I drew into a time wipe, I wouldn't be able to do it until I drew another island. Looks like he is going to go for Teferi, so that's good. We at least... We basically gained 2 life from Teferi there. In addition to the life we saved by bouncing his Steamkin. Another island, cool. So, is there anything we can do? All we can do right now is counters. That's all we have the mana for. Just the Dobin's Veto. So depending what he has, we might be dead. Because this guy's going to proc his ability of giving him extra mana. Bone Crusher. Well, that's getting countered. He's still going to be doing tons of damage to me with these Steamkins. So what I really need is a time wipe. Honestly, like, time wipe I think is the only thing I can foresee that would allow me to survive. Does he have the mana for that? I hope not. Slaying Fire would be really bad right now. I think it would kill me. Oh my god, am I going to survive? If he doesn't have the mana for any other spells, I might survive. No! Oh, I'm dead. That's game. Oh, we should have attacked first. No, it doesn't matter. He's going to kill me no matter what. Didn't even matter that he didn't attack with his 4/4 first. Can you hurry this up? Yeah. Good game. Yep. I took a gamble on that opening hand, hoping that I could just be a bit slower trying to find my intermediate cards, and the gamble did not pay off since we ended up going against a red deck, which you can't afford to lose any of those early game turns against a red deck wins, as we saw. Alright. Let's reset, let's recover, let's go again. We've got an Opt, a Brazen Borrower. These are way better early turn options, and we've got a Time Wipe for later in Gadwick. Sounds good to me. This is the hand that I wish I had against the red deck wins. I could have bounced his Steamkint right away. Let's do Tranquil Cove, and then we'll do Opt turn 2. Green, okay. Gilded Goose, maybe? Yeah. Do I want to do... Probably Hallowed Fountain. Then we can do Castle Ardenvale untapped. We'll put this out tapped, I think, so we can do Opt. We don't need to pay 2 life for the possibility of Brazen Borrower, because he hasn't shown anything that's worthy of that yet. Let's put a break in his end step, pass the turn. So clearly some food elements in his deck. Curious to see which style of food elements. Is it a sacrifice deck? Is it just like a pure food deck? Huh. Interesting. Red-green with a Gilded Goose. Does that mean there's a swamp in there too? Is it like a Juned food deck? Or is this just a Gruul with some food in there as well? Let's see what we got for Opt. Do we want another land? I don't think so. But we're good on lands. We have 2 more. Absorb, that's good. I like that. Unfortunately, his Edgewall Innkeeper makes him draw a card just when he casts something, so even if I counter it, he'll still draw a card. So I might want to bounce Edgewall Innkeeper. You know what? Maybe I'll bounce it during his end step, and then when he plays it again, I'll counter it to cut off his card draw. Alternatively, I could just stall until I have enough for a Time Wipe and then just destroy it. Let's see. Regardless, I want to have the option. So let's put out Castle Ardenvale, and let's pass turn. We may bounce something with Brazen Borrower just to stall. Hey, 1 damage from this is not a big deal. Yeah, so we might stall with Brazen Borrower, and then... oh, interesting. That's not worth countering. I think I wanted to continue playing creatures, honestly. Just to make Time Wipe worth it when I have enough mana for it. I might do Brazen Borrower's bounce ability. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stall things with Brazen Borrower. I'm going to bounce his Edgewall Innkeeper. And then I can play Brazen Borrower as a creature next time. Yeah, during his end step, I think I'll play Brazen Borrower unless I need to counter something with Absorb. We can take the 3 damage for now. I'm hoping that he just continues playing creatures. It also looks like he might be mana starved, which is great. That's great news. Although it's not great in the sense that it's preventing him from putting out a bunch of stuff. But it is great in the sense that I can perhaps gain some advantage in terms of putting things out. Okay, so I think I'm going to start attacking with my Brazen Borrower. And I might just start chump blocking with Castle Ardenvale. There's no reason to do a Time Wipe just yet until we can make him get more stuff out. Yeah, we're doing about equivalent damage anyway, so I think I'll do that for now. And then once he overcommits his field, that's when I'll do Time Wipe. It'd be great if he didn't realize I had a Castle Ardenvale. Oh, he just looked at it, so I'm thinking that's not the case. So I doubt he's going to attack with his Edgewall Innkeeper. Yeah, wise choice. So, do I actually want to chump block that, or do I want to, like... Yeah, I might as well. I'll just prevent the damage. And now he's going to think I'm tapped out, so there's no reason not to play another creature, which would be great. And if that's the case, and he plays another creature, then we can Time Wipe. Sounds good to me. Maybe a Spellbreaker? Questing Beast. Excellent. I'm definitely happy to get rid of that. Let's do Fatal Passage. And we're going to get 1 more attack in with our Brazen Borrower before we do anything else. And I'm pretty sure now is a safe enough time to Time Wipe. Although, actually, I'm not that happy about being totally tapped out and not being able to absorb whatever he does next. But I think we need to. We can't really take a bunch of hits from Questing Beast and Crawl Harpooner. Alternatively, we really only need to chump block Crawl Harpooner, and then we just take 4 damage from Questing Beast. That's definitely doable. And if we do that, he might think we don't have a time wipe. So I think we're going to do that. We're just going to keep chump blocking, make him think we don't have any answers for his creatures, and maybe get him to play some more stuff, because I'm definitely concerned about the amount of cards he has in his hand. I want to sort of pull more out of there before I do the time wipe, because we only have one of them, unfortunately. So I just want to sort of make him think that this is our only option right now, and that maybe if he just played a few more creatures, he could overwhelm us. That's what I want him to think right now. I'm trying to do mind games. If I can get just one more creature out on the field, that's when I'll time wipe. Just one more. What is he going to do? Crawl Harpooner. I'll take it. So sadly, he's going to kill my Brazen Borrower. Oh, he didn't do the ability. Fantastic. I get Brazen Borrower back in my hand. Well, maybe he just played that as a blocker for Brazen Borrower, but either way, this is coming back to my hand, and you're losing all your creatures. Boom. Very happy with that. Sadly, he still has a ton of cards in his hand, which is not great, but we have a ton of counters as well. Gilded Goose, alright. What else do you have? Maybe he only has, like, expensive cards. Maybe I should bounce Gilded Goose so he doesn't have that mana ability, and then I can just counter whatever else he does. I kind of like that idea. You know what I could do? I could bounce his food. No, if I bounce his food, he's going to sacrifice it in response, and then my Brazen Borrower will fizzle. So I think I'm going to bounce Gilded Goose instead. And then I'll just counter whatever he does next, since he's mana screwed. He should only have enough for like 1 or 2 spells. And then if he doesn't do anything, by some chance, I have Brazen Borrower to play as a creature. So this is looking pretty good. Look at all these counters we have in our hands. And we have Gadwick for if we run out of things to do. Do I want to counter Gilded Goose? I think we can let Gilded Goose go through. It's probably fine. Actually, no. He seems like he's mana screwed, and I think Gilded Goose is his only mechanism for playing 4 or aboves, so I think we are actually going to counter Gilded Goose. I'm taking a gamble that countering Gilded Goose is going to halt his ability to do anything, and it looks like that might be true. Excellent. It's so rare that my guess like that is right, but I love it when it happens. So yeah, we're going to hold off and just do Brazen Borrower if he doesn't do anything that occupies our mana with counters. At some point, though, he is going to start drawing land. But until then, we're just going to counter his Gilded Geese, as many of them as he plays. He can always eat food, too, so that's another thing he can do with his mana. Planar Cleansing, alright. So we've got another board wipe if we need. Same thing. We're just going to hold off, counter what he does if we need to, and if he doesn't do anything, we're going to do Brazen Borrower. Yeah. At some point, he's definitely going to have, yeah, finally a land. He might need more forests, though. Not sure. Edgewall Innkeeper. I think that's counter-worthy. We don't want him getting any more cards than he already has. So that's going to be a nope. Bone Crusher Giant. That's fine. We can chump block him with our 1/1s created by Castle Ardenvale. Let's make a Brazen Borrower so we can start attacking him. Trouble is, if he gets 1 more mana out, then he'll have enough for an Embercleave, if that's what he has in his hand, and that's very possible, considering this is a Gruul deck. So I do need to be on the lookout for that, but luckily I have a pretty good health buffer right now. So even if he does surprise me with an Embercleave, I doubt he'd be able to one-shot me. And then, if he does do Embercleave, I can Planar Cleansing and destroy it, along with the creature who's attached to. How much mana do I need for this castle? So I'd have 3 left over. That's not worth doing Gadwick right now. We wouldn't get anything for his X. So yeah, the plan right now is just to chump block Bone Crusher Giant and chip away at him with Brazen Borrower. Lovestruck Beast. let's counter that since he's playing the non-creature version, and then he'll lose his creature. Yep. That's a shame. If he had played the creature version, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. And I still have enough mana left over for the chump block. Fantastic. If he has a shock or something, it'd be funny if he played that on my 1/1 to prevent me from blocking. Yeah, I think we're in a pretty good place right now. Both of our hands are whittled down to only about 3 cards, and it's looking like I have the advantage since I have Castle Ardenvale. Oh, we destroyed my Brazen Borrower. Alright, very nice. Well, now we have a counter for creatures if we need, but... yeah, I don't want to do Gadwick right now because I want mana available for whatever he plays. So let's go ahead and pass. Good thing is, though, I have enough to do a 1/1 with Castle Ardenvale, and then I can do Essence Capture if he plays that Bone Crusher. Oh, but he's going to make me chump block it first. Oh well. That's fine. Giving it a +1/+1 counter wouldn't have mattered much anyway, because he still wouldn't have been able to destroy Bone Crusher Giant. Yep, there's Bone Crusher. Let's counter him. And Aether Gust. Oh, cool. I could put Bone Crusher on top of his library. Well, that's interesting. We might do that. We might do Gadwick and then put Bone Crusher on top of his library. How much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So we could do Gadwick for 3 in his X. I like that idea. Yeah, and then we no longer need the mana available to create a chump blocker. We got a Teferi and a Time Wipe. Fantastic. This is looking really good. We just gained significant card advantage. We got more removal options, more control options. We got another Gadwick. This is looking extremely good. That's going to be countered for sure. I'd rather lose Gadwick. Oh, actually, because of Gadwick's ability, we tapped Bone Crusher, and he didn't even get to attack with it. Wow, that worked out perfectly. This is going my way for sure. We're going to attack, I think. We've got the life advantage. We might as well keep the pressure up on him. And then I think we're going to Teferi. Oh, shit. No, that's fine, actually.
My responsibility.
Now, do I want to bounce Bone Crusher? Probably not. I don't want him to... Bone Crusher will be able to destroy Teferi with his adventure ability if I bounce him. So let's just make him bigger. And we can use Aether Gust on him next turn. If he tries to attack. I'll be interested to see if he goes for Teferi or my life total. Okay, let's bounce him. Oh, you know what? I realized I could have chump blocked him. Oh well. I already decided to do this, I guess. Goodbye. Yeah. We might do Gadwick next turn.
I'm plan B. As soon as I think
He does not like that Teferi. I don't blame him. Kill the goose. If you keep putting permanents on the field, my friend, I might be tempted to board wipe again. Let's see. We're going to do Fatal Passage. There's no reason not to. Let's get another island. We're a little bit short on blues compared to whites. Let's make Teferi a bit bigger.
I've got time.
And what else do I want to do? I might attack with Gadwick. And then if he blocks and destroys it, then I'll play another Gadwick. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And then we could just chump block the Bone Crusher Giant that's already here with Castle Ardenvale like we have been before. Alright, he let it go through. Cool. If he plays another Bone Crusher Giant, that's when we'll Time Wipe, most likely. We're looking really good here. He's down to 8 life. We've got pretty decent control options available, so I'm liking this. There's that, as expected.
I won't let you win.
He's going to go for the attack. And we're going to create a chump blocker. It's funny that we also have Time Wipe available on our turn, or on his turn, rather. So actually, we could do Time Wipe during his end step if he plays that other Bone Crusher and just return Gadwick to our hand. That might be what we do, honestly. we're not using the mana for anything else. And there's no better time to play Time Wipe than when he has 3 or more creatures. Let's just see what he does. Domri's Ambush. So let's let that damage go through. So he's trying to kill Teferi with Domri's Ambush. I think in response, I'm just going to Time Wipe so he doesn't actually destroy it. I think I'm correct that if I destroy him, he won't deal damage equal to his power to me because he's no longer a creature. He's dead. So let's try it. And we'll tap kill the Goose. I mean, he's dead anyway, so it doesn't matter, but... Now let's see if this actually prevents... Yeah, good. It prevented Teferi from getting killed. Fantastic. And now we can play another Gadwick. Fantastic.
Don't worry.
Is this actually in exile? I can't tell. Or, I can't tell if it's in exile or... Oh yeah, it's in exile because his hand is empty. So, he can't do his 2 damage thing there. So let's do Gadwick. Let's draw 5 cards. No, 6. We'll have 2 mana left over in case we get like a Dovin's Veto or something. And we did get a Dovin's Veto. Fantastic. And we have a Brazen Borrower to bounce something if we need to. This is looking really good. Oh shit, did I forget to play a land? I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. This is basically in the bag. I don't see anything he can do. We just need to not make any mistakes. Even if we make some mistakes, honestly, we're probably fine. We're at 22 health, he's at 6. We have ridiculous card advantage. We've got these control options on the field. It's looking pretty cut and dry. We might actually just bounce his Bone Crusher. No, that would be a waste. Because he's going to do damage to us when we target him. So let's just let this go through. Castle Ardenvale. We've got these board wipes that don't matter. Let's go just attack with Gadwick. Potentially kill his Bone Crusher, and then we'll just play another Gadwick if he does block. He's got to start blocking at some point because he's down to 6 health. Interesting, he's letting it through. Wow. Oh, that's true. That's true. He does have foods. Well, in response to that, we're going to bounce his other food to make him lose it, since he doesn't have the mana to sacrifice it. And we can tap his Bone Crusher. And we'll let that damage go through. And now we have Brazen Borrower to play as a creature next turn. Or during his end step, rather. He could kill Teferi. That's possible, but I'm fine with that. Oh, right, we can chump block. There's no reason to let him kill Teferi. Yep. And then we'll do Brazen Borrower. And unless he has an answer for both these creatures, that's going to be game. Well, he only needs an answer for one of them. But, yeah, good game. Oh, that's right. He couldn't have had an answer because we had Teferi. He's not allowed to play things at instant speed, so... Yeah, I think that was sealed as soon as we played that Brazen Borrower. Alright. 3 wins, 2 losses. Let's see if we can get to 4. Definitely enjoying control decks that I've been playing lately. It's definitely a nice change of pace from all the... combo slash aggro decks that we've been using. How do I feel about this? All we have for early game is Dovin's Veto, which we don't even know if it's going to be useful. I'm not sure about this one. I think we might mulligan this. Yeah, we're going to mulligan this. This is better. We have Teferi. We have 2 Teferis, and we have Essence Capture. We're going to keep this, I think. I don't know if we need both Teferis, but I gotta say, Teferi's been coming in handy like crazy in these games, so I might hang on to both of them and just maybe get rid of Gadwick or Essence Capture. I go first, too, so that's nice. We don't have to worry about falling too far behind like an aggro deck. So I think we'll do Tranquil Cove, then Island, then Castle Vantress. Yeah, who do I want to get rid of? I don't want to get rid of land because I don't want to risk getting land screwed. So... I'm thinking Essence Capture. Yeah. I'd like to have Gadwick for later. So it's looking like it might be a mono red. Maybe I should have kept that Essence Capture so that I could have countered like a Runaway Steamkin if I see that come out. But in any case, we can bounce it if that does come out with Teferi. Hopefully he doesn't play another creature this turn, because then we don't have to worry about Teferi getting killed right away. Another Scorch Spitter, yeah, that's not good. So we need a board wipe, probably. Oh my god, 3 of them? What is this? Planar Cleansing, that might come out too late, and also we need another Plains. So we're gonna have to stall until we can get Planar Cleansing out. Hopefully he'll be out of steam if we can survive by the time we get Planar Cleansing out. Let's get Teferi, that's all we can do. We'll do Teferi, and Teferi's gonna die even if we make him big, so we need to just bounce a creature. Oh, but hang on. Nice. We can make him big and force him to use all his attackers on Teferi, which will basically save me all the damage that he's going to do. Or we can bounce one of the creatures, force him to play it again, but then it'll only take one attacker, and I'll take one of the other attackers. Let's bounce. I think we want card draw at this point. Maybe the next Teferi will make him big to absorb more damage, but at this point I think we want more cards. We want to ensure that we can get enough mana to get Planar Cleansing out turn 6. One thing that I'm liking is that it looks like he might be land screwed. He only has two mountains out so far. So, that's encouraging. I think we might do Teferi again and bounce Runaway Steamkin. I'm glad that we're still drawing lands. That's definitely a plus. It's what we want to see. Let's get out this Plains. We need just one more land before we're eligible for Planar Cleansing. Let's bounce this Runaway Steamkin. We do not want that thing comboing.
I'll show you. Here we go.
We're going to draw another card, but we got another island. Fantastic. So, if we can survive 2 more turns, which I don't see how we won't, we should be able to Planar Cleansing everything. Trouble is, we want to make sure he has as many permanents on the field as possible by the time we do that, because that's our only removal option at the moment. So it's going to be a delicate balance trying to get him to put things on the field and us also not dying. So let's just see what happens. I do kind of hope... Okay, good. I was going to say, I hope he gets one more land so that they can put a few more things on the battlefield. Hopefully he does another Scorch Spitter. Yeah, alright. And then hopefully I can just survive one more turn after my next turn. Yeah, it's going to be close, I think. I can really only take one volley of this. So, yeah. We have enough mana for a Dovin's Veto or a Scry, depending on what he does. If he plays only creatures, then we can't use Dovin's Veto, and we might as well Scry. But if he does play a non-creature spell, like a Light Up the Stage, I don't want him drawing any cards. Or if he plays like an Experimental Frenzy, that's another thing I would counter. Vermin Champion, okay, I'm happy with that. More creatures for me to destroy with Planar Cleansing. Look at all this damage he's doing, though. I just need to hope at this point that he doesn't have direct damage, but even if he does, I can Dovin's Veto it. Ow. Yeah, it's a little too close for my life total. Yeah, Light Up the Stage is getting countered. I don't want him drawing cards. We need him to run out of steam after this Planar Cleansing. Run out of steam, it's a Steamkin. Yeah, so Planar Cleansing, there's no choice. We have to do it on our next turn. And then hopefully if we survive after that, we'll do a Gadwick and regain some card advantage. We need to start getting, like, Absorbs so that we can regain some life. Oh my god, it's a Torbrand. Fantastic. So we're killing Torbrand with Planar Cleansing as well. Oh, that could not have happened at a better time. He played it after, so he didn't get any benefits out of it. And now we're going to destroy it. Man, that was a stroke of luck right there. Because who knows what else he has in his hand. It might not be very much. Let's... The land choice right now is arbitrary. We have enough for Planar Cleansing and Gadwick. There it is, Planar Cleansing. Look at that board wipe. We killed 6 of his things. Now it's all about what he has left over. Can he finish me off before I can recover? Torbrand. Oh my god, another Planar Cleansing. Oh, this is a tough choice. Torbrand's extremely dangerous because basically, like, any direct damage spells that he has will cripple me. Like a shock would take me down to 1 health. If he gets this attacker through, I'm down to 1 health. My Gadwick won't be able to kill him, so I'll lose Gadwick as a chump blocker if I play Gadwick. So I think I need to Planar Cleansing again, which is a real shame, because it's just 1 creature, but it's probably the most dangerous creature in his deck, so we need to do it. Let's just opt first, in case there's a better option, like maybe a Brazen Borrower. Castle Ardenvale, I think I want that, honestly, because that'll give me chump blockers. And we can start doing that next turn. For now, we need to Planar Cleansing. There's no choice. We're going to do Castle Ardenvale next turn. Depending on what he has, we might do Gadwick. Scorch Spitter. Alright, alright. We need to have an answer for that. Oh my god, Slaying Fire. No! Oh, I think we're dead. No. Because even if we chump block Scorch Spitter, he's got me with the 1 damage from Scorch Spitter. No. We have to use Gadwick to draw something that can help us here. The question now is, what do I think we can draw, and how much mana do we have to have available for it? Is there anything that can help me? We need like a Brazen Borrower to bounce Scorch Spitter back to his hand. That's all I can think of. Or a Teferi. So I think we need 3 mana available. That means we need 1, 2, 3, 4. We can only draw 2 cards. This is our last-ditch effort to find an answer for this. We need 3 mana available. Let's see what we get. We got a Teferi. Oh my god. We survive. Unless he draws like a direct damage spell. We're going to survive 1 more turn. Holy shit.
Sorry.
And then if he draws like a land...
Might be a bad idea.
We still need to figure out something to do about Scorch Spitter when he plays it again, though. We have an Absorb that'll help us gain life. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. We need to find something else. Yeah, this is bad. We're just at 1 health. We need to opt, for sure. We can create 1 chump blocker. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have opted on his turn, so I tapped his creatures. Shit. That might have been a mistake. No, we can still do it. We can create 1 chump blocker with Castle Ardenvale, which will block 1 of his creatures. We can block 1 with Gadwick. We don't need this land. And we can play another opt to tap another creature. So we should still be okay. We just drew another opt. Fantastic. So we can survive as long as we don't... Yeah, it came out without giving me the option to pay 2 life because I'd be dead. As long as he doesn't have any direct damage. Actually, even if he does, we can absorb it. So we should still be alive for 1 more turn at least. Let's see what he does. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's fine. I was going to say I should have put a break before combat started so I could have stopped this, but nothing I would have done would have stopped his ability from proccing anyway, so... Okay, so now before combat starts, we need to tap things. So let's do an opt. Let's tap... This guy has to attack, and I want him to, so I can block and kill him. We need to tap Scorch Spitter so we don't die. Another Gadwick. Do I want another Gadwick? I don't think so. I think our Gadwick that we have is good enough. A land, alright. And then do we need to tap something else? No, we're gonna create a chump blocker, I think. Actually, there's no reason not to do the tap instead of chump blocking. So let's just opt. Oh, there might have been a reason, actually, now that I think of it. I might have wanted to use this next turn to prevent Scorch Spitter from attacking. Well, that's not good. We might need to use Teferi to bounce Scorch Spitter and then counter him. That's all I can think of right now. Yeah. I think we might need to kill our Teferi that's on the field by playing another Teferi, bounce Scorch Spitter, and then absorb him when he tries to play him again. Yeah, that might be what we need to do. What's going on? Why are you looking at Teferi? He's attacking Teferi? Alright. Well, you're dead. And we have enough mana left over to make a 1/1. So that's at least good. Rimrock Knight. That's fine because we can kill him with chump blockers. We need to save the absorb for Scorch Spitter. So this is fine. Let's make a creature. We got another absorb. Beautiful. We can actually start recovering our life total. Let's see. We probably want a... I don't know. I don't think it matters at this point. We have enough of every kind. Let's go ahead and use his ability one last time.
Oh,
Let's play this Teferi so that we don't die. Let's... it doesn't really matter who we tap. Now we'll bounce Scorch Spitter.
You can win.
And then we'll counter Scorch Spitter when he comes out again. We're looking good. I think we can survive. We have enough for both absorbs. We're not attacking with anyone. We need to be in defensive mode at this moment. And excellent, he got a land. So nothing else to worry about except for Scorch Spitter. Is he just not going to play it because he thinks I'm going to counter it? That's interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and create a chump blocker. Oh, shit. So actually, we didn't have enough mana. Oh, no. He was smart to hold off playing that until his next main phase, because we have to block everyone, we didn't have enough mana to create a chump blocker and absorb his Scorch Spitter, so that was a very good move. Damn. I wonder if that won him the game, because we still need a way of getting life. Oh, no. I think we just lost. Oh, no, 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 no. If we could have absorbed Scorch Spitter before he attacked, we could have let some of the attack go through. But because he attacked while I still had 1 life, I had to block with everyone and make another chump blocker, and I didn't have enough mana for absorb. No. I think we're done here. I think we've lost. The only chance is if he plays another spell before combat,
No, I am not
and I can absorb
as
it.
I go.
That's the only chance we have right now. Is he going to do it? That's really all this comes down to. Is he going to play a spell or not? If he doesn't play a spell, I lose. Oh my god. The anticipation is killing me. What are you going to do? What's happening? What? Why are you dragging this out? It should be a pretty easy option. You have 1 card. Decide whether to use it or not. The fact that he hasn't played it as a land makes me think it's not a land. It makes me think he has a spell to play. It looks like he's not going to play a spell. I think this game's over. Shit. Yeah. Good game. Damn it. I had the absorbs in my hand, but I just couldn't use them. Damn. Damn, 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 damn. So close. So close to coming back there. We almost made him run out of steam. We were just skirting by the skin of our teeth for most of that game, but we were doing it, and then just... We were 1 mana short on having enough to absorb that Scorch Spitter when he played it for, like, what, the 3rd time? Oh, man. All really good games, though. I enjoyed those, even though we didn't get to 4. Let's see what we got for prizes.
There's no greater honor than serving those in need.
And let's buy a pack, since we're in excess of 5,000. What do we got? Gems, hooray! Okay, we're gradually increasing our gem count. Okay, so that's going to do it for this episode. Like I said, I really enjoy these control-style decks as a change of pace from the aggro/combo decks that we've been using mostly in the past. In contrast to the Izzet deck, I think this one's a lot more passive control, with things like life gain and, counters, obviously, and things like Teferi. But between this and the Izzet Flash deck, I think I prefer the Izzet. Just because, like I mentioned in that episode, I enjoy the ability to be a control deck, but also have aggressive options. This one seemed like a lot of sort of just surviving and just whittling down the other player instead of, like, really going for their life total. But nonetheless, control, in any case, is a nice change of pace. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.